guys ready for Michael? Michael, come on out.
Great. So the new neighbors had just moved in. This young couple, Mark and Stacy, just super nice guys, the friendliest neighbors you can imagine. Mark was a coach and Stacy was a counselor. And this was their first house, the first house they bought. Mark had that crush, I think, that you have when you get the first house and you want to mow the lawn and you want to just keep it beautiful. He bought one of those old-fashioned lawn mowers with a cylinder and the blades. And it was just beautiful. So one day during baseball season, I was looking out my window and I noticed he had some leaves on the ground. And that's when Satan came to me. Now, you have to understand, I hate practical jokes. I don't mind being the butt of a practical joke, but I hate being the person who does a practical joke, because I hate making people feel bad. Now, let me clarify that. I'm a school teacher, so I make people feel bad every day. And that does not bother me. But I hate lying and making someone feel that they've done something wrong when they haven't. That, to me, just seems terrible. So I immediately went to the computer and I found our Homeowners Association website. I stole their logo and I wrote a letter. And I taped this letter to Mark's door, and it said, "Dear neighbor, Oak Forest is a beautiful neighborhood because of the care each of us puts into the houses and yards. We notice that you've allowed your grass to get a little long, but more importantly, your beautiful magnolia trees has shed many leaves. An unraked yard affects the whole neighborhood. We at the Oak Forest Homeowners Association take seriously our commitment to keeping the value of our houses as high as possible. This is not a citation, but a gentle reminder. If you have need for a reputable yard service or questions about gardening here in Houston, please do not hesitate to call me. Sincerely, Bob Finkelstein, Chairman, Lawn and Deed Restrictions Committee." So I put this on his door. And now I'm waiting, and I'm getting nervous, and I'm getting anxious. So Mark drives home. He goes in the house. 5 minutes later, he's out in his shorts, and he's just raking with a vengeance, just angry raking. And I feel awful. I'm like, I'm going to go confess right now. So I walk out the door. I'm pretending I'm going to a neighbor's house, and I walk by. I said, "Hey, Mark, how's it going?" He says, "Hey, Mike, how's it going?" We do a little chit-chat, but you can see he's agitated. And he goes, I just got a letter. I go, "Really? What was it about?" And he goes, "It's from the Homeowners Association about my yard." And I go, "Who wrote that letter?" He goes, "A guy named Bob Finkelstein." I said, "Finkelstein's an asshole." So I continue to walk, and I get to the neighbor's house, the other neighbor's house, and I'm like, I know I should confess, but I realize his wife hasn't come home, and this is going to be a great story someday, and she needs to be part of this story. So I'm waiting another hour, and I'm pacing back and forth. Finally, her car pulls up. She stops in the driveway. She doesn't get out. She's on the phone for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm just thinking, oh no. She pulls away in a huff and just drives off, and I'm thinking, he's so angry, he's yelled at her. This is the first fight they've had, and it was all my fault. Turns out she was looking for Finkelstein's house. I'd put the address on the envelope. So I'm like, time to confess. So I go and I ring the doorbell, and Mark comes out and he goes, "Hey, Mike, what's going on?" And I go, "I'm that asshole Finkelstein." The next year, Finkelstein wrote a letter to my other neighbor. Dear Mr. Stephen Nelson, we could not help noticing the beautiful Mexican fan palm tree, Washingtonia robusta, newly planted in your front lawn. Perhaps you forgot that our neighborhood is called Oak Forest, not Desert Palms Motel, Reno, Nevada. Thank you.